right. Deadman's Home Podcast, your host, Mr. Deadman, co-host Becky, and joining us tonight, we have Bo Chappell.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing all right. And we have S.R. Jones.
Hello.
Yay!
We have a full house, guys, full house. I pray to baby Jesus and baby Cthulhu that no technical issues happen. Okay, I might as well just praise Dracula. Just pray to Dracula. Lord Dracula, please make sure this... Okay. I know I try to kick your ass a number of times at Castlevania, but we can make an agreement, I think. All right. So...
you forgot somebody. Don't go there. Do you remember what happened last time?
Do you want me to say his name?
No, not really, but you have to, or it's going to be bad.
Okay. Please, baby Nicholas Passion. Please don't hack. Don't use your Uber hacking skills and crush this episode. Okay. All right.
Okay, I feel better. Thank you.
All right. So, gentlemen, we are here because we have a task, a very important one. And you are all here because y'all like Castlevania, right?
Yes, very much.
Okay. Now, man, before we begin, let's talk about what Castlevania means for us, like just briefly. S.R. Jones.
So one of the first series of games I really got into, Castlevania and Silent Hill, were the two that kind of made me a gamer. And the Castlevania series was sort of the first set of platformer games that I ever played, which meant that all other platformer games that I played for a very long time seemed ridiculously easy and not very interesting. Because Castlevania is, sort of legendarily difficult.
Yeah, Konami games, man. They don't.
They don't pull.
They don't hold your hand. Yeah.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, what about for you, Bo? I mean, what else could you add to
that? What can you say? Like, I mean, I've written a. It seems like I've written a couple times about Castlevania and stuff. It's for most of our generation, it was probably the first horror game we all ever played, it's just like this nice little collection of everything that you think of as horror and Halloween, and just every conceivable combination of monsters that you can think of. Everything's in that game.
Yeah, the range of monsters is amazing.
Yeah, it's like a guidebook for here's this type of monster and here's what it does, and it's a really cool introduction just to that whole world. So if you're a kid and you're just getting into monsters and stuff, or you just that's a fantastic introduction to everything. And so how can you not play that game and just be completely enthralled with it?
That's true. Yeah, that's true. It is a massive.
Not to mention the music.
Yeah, the music is amazing.
It really is. And Becky. Jeez, what am I thinking? I'm sorry. I've been drinking all day.
Freudian slip.
I've been drinking all day, rum and coke. Okay, Becky, have you ever played Castlevania?
Yes, sir. No.
Okay, that's all right. Because today you're going to learn about Castlevania. And not only that, see, we have to come up with the top 5. Now, I've watched a number of top 10 Castlevania videos, and I hope we don't... I kind of see some titles being high on this list. It's going to happen. But maybe our list is going to be a little bit different. I don't know. But here's the thing. First, we're going to try to eliminate some titles off the list. So we have to get it down to 5. And really start arguing about those 5, where they need to go. And if we can't, because it'll be done by vote pretty much, there's 3 of us. So if someone's not happy with the vote, they can appeal to Becky. What that means is they can try to convince
bless
Becky.
Your heart.
They can try to convince Becky. Using like salesman tactics. And when I say use salesman tactics, they might not be honorable, but you use what you can. If there's a way you can describe it to Becky, okay? And don't think that she's biased towards me, because I don't know if you listened to the last private show where I was defending Jason Voorhees as being a good dad, but she was definitely not on my side on that one.
Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can sort of see the rationale there.
Well, okay. Well, listen. Okay, so everyone just not be on my side here. Listen to my argument. Who has the better grandparent? Okay, who has the better? Okay.
You know, it's weird to say. If you take out the killing, he might be a good dad.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, he didn't kill kids. But the other thing we can do is we ran a poll on Twitter, and that poll could be used as well for appeal if the title's on there. So, all right, I think that's a good introduction. What else to say? It's a master. It's a legendary franchise. You know, whether or not the franchise is in a good direction now, I don't know. I guess we could talk about that too, but.
Yeah, I mean,
is this on all platforms, or is it just like on Xbox? Or
it's on all platforms.
Yeah,
this list
it's been on pretty much everything.
Yeah, the list we compiled. Everyone submitted their list, and it's ranging from NES, Super Nintendo. There's even PC Engine for Rondo of Blood, which. For Rondo of Blood, which we can talk about, I don't know if you want to consider Rondo of Blood the PC Engine version or the Super Nintendo watered down port, but
whatever is fair for anybody. For me, I was considering just the full, the original version.
Okay. I'd say the full version over the watered down version, just because I don't like it when they start taking stuff out of games.
Yeah,
because they took out a lot of levels and. The whole branching system and everything.
Yeah, they did. And it doesn't look as good. Nowhere near. You know? All right. So on the list, we have Symphony of the Night, Super Castlevania IV, Harmony of Dissonance, Rondo of Blood, Lords of Shadow, Dawn of Sorrow, Aria of Sorrow, Castlevania III, Castlevania, Portrait of Ruin, and I threw in Castlevania 2, just kind of, the elephant in the room. Oh, and also Castlevania Bloodlines, which I don't know if anyone knows about that game for Genesis.
Which one? I knew about it, but I don't think I ever played it.
I think I played a bit of it, and I think it was somebody else's game cart that I borrowed, and I never got a chance to finish it.
Oh. Well...
so I don't really know a lot about Bloodlines. I know it was hugely important to the series, and a couple of the later games sort of branch off from it, but I personally never managed to finish it. So
yeah, I never played it too.
So have y'all finished the Castlevania?
I've finished a lot of them. I finished the first one. I finished all the ones on the Game Boy and the Game Boy systems. It's probably where I played most of it, to be honest.
I'm completely out of handhelds. I have to admit, I never played any of the handhelds. Well, maybe the original Game Boy one, but yeah, I finished Super Castlevania 4, and I've played through most of the originals on the NES. I've just because they're so hard. I've never went back and tried to beat them out, and I've beaten Lords of Shadow.
Yeah, I haven't really. I played through them. Hell, I spent a lot of time Castlevania 3. That's one of my favorites. That's my personal favorite. Castlevania 3 and Symphony 9 are my personal favorites. The Game Boy Advance ones I definitely played a lot of. Castlevania 2 I played a little bit of Bloodlines. But I guess let's start on elimination real fast. So Castlevania Bloodlines. Yeah. So this one here, this title. I mean... It stands out on its own. It's like the black sheep. It's for Genesis. It's for Mega Drive. It's but it's not a bad game.
No, is it? It's also the one that's got the larger on-screen sprites, isn't it?
Yeah,
which I remember looked really nice. So graphically, it stood out as well. And I remember kind of the first levels with the the lightning strikes in the hallways looked really, really good. Like it was a game I
Yeah.
wanted to play more of.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Was that the one where you had
Wow.
a dual select? You had 2 characters to pick from.
Yeah, you had 2 characters.
Yeah.
You had 2
Yeah.
characters. You had Quincy Morris, who is I don't know how this works, but he's in Texas. He's a descendant of the Belmont family. It takes place in like 1897. So
I just love how you say that. Like he's in Texas. Like was he meant to be there? Did he get the wrong bus?
yeah, like somehow because all the other games, even this game takes place in Europe. So like, what the fuck happened? I mean, he set sail with
He took a wrong turn.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's Albuquerque.
Yeah, exactly. These graphics that I'm looking at online for this game, wow.
Yeah, and particularly for its time, the graphics were beautiful, and I think what really stood out about it was a lot of the Castlevania games, because the sprites are smaller and you've got more stuff on the screen, you didn't see the detail of Dracula's castle. And then suddenly this game came along and everything was so much bigger and more detailed. I was like, oh my god, that's so cool.
Now, did this game come out before
Wow.
Castlevania 4?
Hang on.
I don't.
Yeah, I'd like to know the year of release, because I have a feeling like this might have came out. Maybe that's what did it in. It's just it was quietly toward, either in the middle or toward the end of the Genesis era, or just some weird patch.
It was 1994, wasn't it? Bloodlines
1994.
came out.
1994. When does Castlevania 4 come out? Let's see.
I think it was 91, wasn't it? Super Castlevania 4?
Yeah. Wow, it came out after? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, so Genesis is like 91, 92, right? So
Yeah.
you're talking like several years into the console when that came
Wow,
out.
man.
Okay.
That also paints a picture, too.
There's a
because,
movie, too.
they were going to make a movie. They were going to make a Castlevania.
Oh.
Wait. Are you talking
Yeah.
about the Netflix series or the movie?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah, the
Sorry.
Netflix
It's a
series is
series.
brilliant.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Need more of it.
By the
that's
way,
good.
returning this month.
So,
They're what?
I didn't
That's returning this month.
Oh,
Yes,
good.
it is.
Good. Oh, sweet. Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Really? Okay, so I'm going to watch this. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I think
catch up.
Sorry.
It's
I think
good.
another thing that might have done in for Bloodlines is 1994, isn't that when Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles came out? So I think there were some other pretty big games going on the sort of the Sega consoles,
Yeah.
and it
but,
probably just sank.
but also in comparison with other Castlevania games, if you think about it this way, so this game took place or came out after Castlevania 4 for Super
Yeah.
Nintendo, Super Castlevania 4, which is another one of the powerhouse titles. This one's going to come up again because it graphically, I mean, it utilizes the Super Nintendo like all the way.
Yeah.
What's that chip? What's the chip that they use? Bo, you know what I'm talking about, right? Where they do all the special effects.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about, and I can't
Yeah.
think of the name of it.
FX chip or whatever? That's not what it's called.
Yeah.
What is it called?
It's something like it.
Let me know in the
the
comments
Turbo
section.
Graphics effects or something like that.
We're messing it up. So some gamers we are. But,
I know.
But I don't know, like compared to so you have Super Castlevania 4 and then you have Bloodlines. I don't know if Bloodlines even holds up graphically compared to that. I mean, I know it's nice, it's for a Genesis game, but I guess the question we have is this going to be top 5 material? Like, do we want to eliminate this off the list?
Yeah, I think so. It's not that it's like you said. It's not a bad game, and it's not like it's
Yeah.
a forgettable game. It's just it's not
No,
on
I
par
think-
with the other games on the list.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the hard things is here. Actually, most of the games in the Castlevania series are good games.
Yeah.
But I don't think this one kind of holds a candle to some of the others on the list.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right. So I'll go and axe it. I agree too. So that's 3 in agreement. All right.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and delete it off the list. Boom. It's deleted. Now it's gone forever. All right.
Aw, poor thing.
Now Castlevania 2, Simon's Quest. What about this one?
Okay, you know what's going to happen.
What's going to happen?
It's like that is a divisive game. Fans either think it's they think it's good, or they think like, oh, they hate the mechanics of that game. But it's not a terrible game. People are over exaggerating.
It was different. I think it wasn't what people were expecting.
Yeah, it's the Zelda 2 effect.
Yeah.
That was back when people didn't. What's a sequel to a video game back then? You know?
Yeah, it makes sense.
They're like, okay, let's just make something. Oh, let's do something new, and then they did. And they're like, what is this?
And it's that constant trap, isn't it, with games? If you do something different, people hate it. If you do the same thing, people hate it.
Yeah.
You can't really win.
Yeah, plus it was extremely cryptic about, like, you had to go out and buy a Nintendo Power to get through that game.
I think that was
like the thing about ducking against the wall.
Yeah, I think that's the worst thing
like,
about
there's no way anybody could figure that out.
Yeah, that's why I have a hard time when people say, oh man, like, I really like this one. It's like, wait a second, like, how far did you get? Because are you saying that now because you watched the AVGN episode and now you understand the cryptic messages and all that stuff? Because it's not a bad game. It's not terrible. Is it one of my favorite Castlevania games? No. Now, granted, this is not my top 5 favorite. This is ours. This is like the list that we're going to come up with is the list. I don't know. If we took a poll, I don't know if Castlevania 2 would even be high up there.
I think a lot of people would vote it down just because, like we said, it was not what they were expecting and it was different. I mean, it wouldn't be in my top 5. No, but again, that's not because it's a bad game. It's just because I like the others more.
In about the whole being different thing, I was thinking about this too. Imagine if, like, you played Super Mario, right? And let's say they released Super Mario 2, instead of being a side scroller, it's like I don't know. Now you're on some sort of quest thing, like on Simon's Quest. You're like talking to NPCs and you're trying to like collect a bunch of mushrooms, use the mushrooms to buy items and stuff like that. But like, what game is this? I want to just play Mario. I want more of the same. I want,
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay, I have a dumb girl question.
Okay,
go for it.
How do you know what you're supposed to be doing in these games? I mean, that's one reason why I never played video games, is because I would turn the thing on and I'm like, okay, now what the hell do I do?
Well,
and I think with Simon's Quest, that was one of the problems people had, was they just didn't know what they were meant to be doing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a more cryptic version of Legend of Zelda in that regard.
Yeah, I'll put it to you this way.
You could have asked people for help, and it was just like, you must wait till night's dawn to find the thing. And then people would be like, what does that mean? Where do I go?
It's like this, like Becky, like on Super Mario, it's pretty easy, right? You start walking, and one direction you can go. You see a Goomba, you either jump over it or you die, or you jump on it. So you figure it out right away. Castlevania 2 is like, you start off in a town, and you have no idea what the fuck you're supposed to do. You have no idea what the hell you're supposed to do. Good luck. And everything you think...
Yeah.
Here's what's worse. Okay, everything you think would work, like, doesn't. Like, there are pits in the game that literally just look like the ground. Like, you'd be walking, and next thing you know, that's a fake ground. That's not real ground, so you're just falling right through it. So it'd be like...
Okay, I would be dead in 5 seconds.
Yeah, so it'd be like playing Mario. Imagine playing the original Mario Brothers, Super Mario Brothers. Instead of actually seeing the pits, it's just the bricks just keep on going. So you have to guess where you jump. Good luck on that.
Oh, goody. Yeah.
No. My Nintendo Power to find out where they are.
Yep, exactly.
All right, so we even have
Becky
Becky
think also
convinced.
with Castlevania, with Castlevania in general, nothing works the way it meant to, because you've got this vampire. You all know you kill a vampire by stabbing it through the heart, and some guy's going to go after it with a length of rope. So you're already on pretty shaky footing. So
yeah. Well, it's not just any rope; it's the vampire killer whip, legendary whip.
I swear, half of the reason it works is because the vampires are scared of it, because they don't know what he's going to do with this piece of rope. They've come up with everything else to kill vampires. And they're like, wait, what's this? What are you waving that at me for?
I'm gonna whip it. Gonna whip you.
Yeah.
Whip you to submission, Dracula. You're gonna be submit. Go to my dungeon. We'll talk about that later.
See, if I was a vampire, I'd be worried about that.
I'll delete Castlevania 2 off the list. Boom. Okay.
I was getting ready to say, damn, maybe I do want to play that game.
Well, I think you might like the third one. We'll get to that one. But Portrait of Ruin. This is one of the Game Boy Advance games, right?
Yeah. It was a Nintendo DS. That one was.
Okay. And this is the one where you have like two characters. I don't remember their names exactly. You have to. Okay.
Yeah, you
can swap them out.
You play two characters and you can switch back and forth between them. I want to say they were called John and Charlotte.
Charlotte,
but it's been a while since I played
it. Yeah.
And one of them is the current owner of the Vampire Killer Whip. And the girl is... I think she's part of the Witch family. And you basically have to switch back and forth to use their different abilities to solve puzzles. And there are also certain bits where you can use them at the same time on the screen, and you have to get them both through sort of a puzzle area at the same time, which was really good fun, actually. Super hard, but really good fun.
Oh, that sounds fun, though. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a really good one, actually. And it kind of... The reason I liked it and I put it on the list was it took everything I liked about the earlier platform games and put in a few new little things that made it feel different without it being too different.
Okay. Now, we have a few other handheld Castlevania games. Just need to ask. Like, how does it compare to, like, Aria of Sorrow and, like, Dawn of Sorrow? Dissonance.
I think it compares more directly with Dawn of Sorrow because that was the other Nintendo DS game. And it's sort of a difficult one for me because I really, really like Dawn of Sorrow. But the thing they put into Dawn of Sorrow to make it a bit different was you had to draw on the bottom screen of the DS.
Oh, yeah, I hated that. I hated it so much.
Destroy bosses. And when it came out, I was living in London at the time, and I realised you could tell who was playing it because you'd see these people kind of desperately scribbling at their DSs on the public transport.
Oh, yeah.
And then swearing really loudly because it was really hard to do.
Yeah, Becky, let me put it this way. So you're fighting a boss, and like towards the end of the boss fight, like this weird symbol comes up, and you're supposed to trace it. You're supposed to trace it using like this stupid like pin thing you get, this plastic pin on the screen. But if you don't do it right, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, Esther Jones, but if you don't do it right, the boss never dies?
Yeah, the boss, I remember it regains a tiny little bit of health. And then you have to beat it back down and try again. And the further into the game you get, the harder they get to do as well. And the less time you've got to do them in.
Man.
So for me, even though I love Dawn of Sorrow, I would say Portrait of Ruin's probably more fun to play. But if you're looking for hardness, Dawn of Sorrow is the way to go because it's absolute pain in the backside.
Yeah, but hard because what? You have to trace an image on the screen. So
and particularly if you had the older DS with like the less good touch screen, that made it even harder.
Oh man.
Yeah, but that don't sound like Mega Man fun hard. That sounds like
no.
That
sounds like I would throw the damn thing.
Yeah. I didn't buy a game to like. The reason why I'm playing a game. I mean, if I could draw, if I wanted to waste time drawing and stuff, I'll do that. I don't want to trace an image on the screen. Like, what are we doing here? Is that what I'm being graded on? Imagine.
I think that's the real downside to Dawn of Sorrow is I think they could have done something more interesting with it, and they kind of... The rest of it's a really good game. The music's fantastic, the graphics are beautiful, but that one mechanic really knocks it down, in my opinion.
Okay, so going back to Portrait of Ruin. Now, I played it. I know S.R. Jones has played it. I don't think Bo has played it.
I am out on the handheld, pretty much. So, this is your two report.
Like, It's good. I don't know if it's top 5 good, but it's good. I don't know.
It's a difficult one, isn't it?
I'm kind of leaning towards a no on that one. Where do you go, SR Jones?
I mean, I would put it on the list over Dawn of Sorrow. I'm not sure I would put it on the list over Aria of Sorrow or Harmony of Dissonance.
Okay.
Which I know they're the older games and they don't have the sort of the more fun DS gameplay, but I think they'd edge it out, honestly.
So do you want me to eliminate Dawn of Sorrow and keep Portrait of Ruin?
Yeah, let's do that for now.
Okay, I can do that. All right, Dawn of Sorrow's axed. And Portrait of Ruin is staying. Okay, Castlevania, the original. What about that one? That's a classic.
Can't beat the classic, can you?
Yeah, I mean, like, you got to leave it on the list for now. I mean, what can you do? I mean, it's Castlevania.
No.
It's the whole introduction and everything.
Oh.
Yeah, and none of the rest of these games would exist without this one. I mean, it was
True.
It was something different.
That is true. You have to have Castlevania before you can get Castlevania 2 or even Castlevania 3, which is
It's true.
next on the list. And let me ask you this: is Castlevania 3 not okay? Is Castlevania 3 essentially what was great about Castlevania 1, but just made better?
You can say the same thing about Castle. Some people argue that Castlevania 4 is a remake too.
Yeah.
Okay, and we'll get there too. We'll get there.
Yeah, but but the mechanics. Yeah, you could argue that, but it's like, hey, we take the mechanics, we take everything you love about it. We're going to give you more characters to play, different ways to play it.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was non-linear as well, wasn't it? Castlevania 3. It was the one where you could go around
Yeah, you can
in
choose
a
your
different
destiny.
order, couldn't you?
in a
Yeah.
way.
So do each one of the Castlevanias are they like a different quest, a different mission that you're supposed to be doing?
So
Is that what this is?
So the idea in Castlevania is every now and then Dracula pops out of whatever dark dimension he's living in, and somebody from the Belmont clan goes and kicks his ass. And
Okay.
that's kind of it, and some of the games seem to be the same quest remade, and some are different people, and it's a little difficult to keep track of sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the same
some
shit.
people actually debate like a lot of the stuff too. Like, what's the argument? Because some people say that like Castlevania 4 is actually like a sequel to Castlevania 2 somehow, which I never understood. But
Yeah, I know. I've
I've
read a
read that.
few theories about what order they're supposed to go in. I've not really paid much attention to it, to be perfectly honest.
but
Yeah, man.
but Becky, if you're gonna watch the Castlevania Netflix show, it's Castlevania 3. That's
Yeah.
what they're basing that.
That's
Oh,
that's
okay.
another thing. Okay, so that was going to be another point of my argument for Castlevania 3 over Castlevania on this list, because we're going to 5. You know, it's going to be, we're going to have to start making some tough decisions. So now
Yeah.
I know they say the same thing about Super Castlevania 4 being a remake, but for the NES, like you can play the original Castlevania, or you could play Castlevania 3. I mean, which one do you play?
Okay, I got your system of thinking here. If you're gonna make the list, you're right. If you're gonna pick one from each, you should pick 3 from the NES, and you should pick Super Castlevania for the SNES.
Yeah, I'd agree
If you-
with that.
Okay,
That's
so,
pretty sound logic.
Okay, so did we just agree to eliminate the original Castlevania?
Grudgingly.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I talked you guys into that. Holy fuck! I should go into sales. All right. Wow.
It's hard to argue against it. Super Castlevania is both those games are really awesome. It's nothing against the original. It's just
Oh no, yeah.
they improved upon it in both those games.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
I know for a freaking fact that Super Castlevania 4 is not going away. That thing is a beast. Unless I don't know. I don't see it going away, because That one stands out on its own. That's so unique. Is that the only time that the whip can do that little like whippy thing? You know,
yes, I miss being able to do that and moonwalk up the stairs.
Yeah, man.
I like your description there a little bit. That was good.
With the little whippy thing?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Becky, you have a whip in this game, right? So throughout the whole series, the Belmont only had like one move, like to just whip it good, you know?
Yeah,
but
didn't matter what was ahead of them, just smack it with a whip and it'll die.
It could smash your bricks too. It could smash your bricks, and sometimes there's like some meat, like I don't know, a turkey leg or something, on the brick, and you eat it for health.
Why would you eat anything that you found lying around in Dracula's castle?
Desperate call for
no.
desperate measures,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, but no.
You don't think Dracula would have like a fridge or some like brewskis or something around, or maybe some wine or something? I don't know.
A bottle or two of blood? Are you kidding?
But
Yeah, I mean, anything red in a bottle I would avoid in Dracula's castle just in case.
Exactly. Yeah.
I'd just be a vampire for a day, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll just drink it, see what
A
happens.
day.
Yeah, just for a day.
Here, hold my beer and let's see what happens. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, and this is why women live longer than men.
All right. Next on the list is Aria of Sorrow, which is actually one of my favorite. I know. I mentioned Harmony of Dissonance, but that's actually kind of one. I don't know. Aria of Sorrow is a fun game. Game Boy Advance, right?
Yeah. It's one of my favorites, absolutely.
And looking at the footage again, because the Game Boy Advance games, whether you want to say it or not, they kind of copied the formula of Symphony of the Night. You know, they have that
very much
Metroidvania premise thing going on.
I have a reminder for Sean.
Oh wait, something's going on.
It's a reminder that was set. Sorry.
Oh, you got a reminder.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay.
No, it was.
You got a visit? You got a pimp? You don't have a pimp? Okay.
No, are you volunteering?
I thought it was the pimp. Damn it.
Oh.
No, I'm just... No. But Aria of Sorrow, man. Like, what I was going to say is, watching the gameplay footage, like, for me, out of the Game Boy Advance games, like, that one comes close to, like, that sort of animation style that they had for, like, Alucard and Symphony of the Night. Like, the way... what the way is this?
Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow both used a lot of the same style.
Yeah.
And actually, I've heard people say it, that Harmony of Dissonance looks like a reskin of Symphony of the Night, which I personally don't agree with, but I understand why they think that. The main characters look very similar on the screen. Whereas Aria of Sorrow, Soma, the main character, he's quite distinct on his own.
Yeah.
And also, you've got to give him credit. He goes through the entire thing in this amazing white coat and never gets it dirty. So, that's pretty cool.
It's a good game. It should definitely be on the list.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bo. You have any objections? I know you haven't played it, but you could object. We're talking about.
No, I have no objections. I trust your judgment.
All right.
Judgment.
So far, we have.
That's frightening. Now, come on.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 titles when you bring down 5. Okay.
I think Bo and I are both biding our time because I think there is going to be an argument in a bit. So.
Oh, it might be this one.
I already I know what I'm going to say. I know what it is.
It's the next one right here. Lords of Shadow. Lords of Shadow.
All right.
Here we go.
Let me take this. I'm already prepared to take this off the list. But I want to say why it's one of my favorites.
Okay.
Personally, I understand it's not canon. I know it's a reboot. I know ultimately it failed as a reboot, especially because of that sequel, and they messed it up, which I never played, and I heard it was awful.
It really was.
I'm so disappointed because of what was suggested with the first one, because that's one of the reasons I love it. To me, you got your money's worth out of that game. That was like a 50-plus hour game, and nothing was repeated. There was a lot of really cool horror elements to it, but I understand because a lot of it was a good chunk of it was a lot of fantasy elements too. Like the pans in it, and there's all sorts of stuff. A lot of it didn't feel Castlevania-y, but like going to Frankenstein's castle and stuff. Those levels are just
and I think that's actually part of my argument against it. Isn't at all that it's bad. Just I really didn't like the fact that they took a game that could have been its own franchise and tacked it onto Castlevania, which kind of guaranteed it wasn't going to succeed. And that just kills me, because it could have been something whole new in the monster hunting genre, and like the Van Helsing type stories and things like that, and it could have been its own thing, and you could have had like another 8 brilliant games out of it. And because they made it Castlevania, they killed it.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, because they almost made that mistake with Devil May Cry, because it was going to be another Resident Evil. I think that was what it was originally going to be, and they were just like, "This is too crazy." But so I completely understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
I can agree with that as well.
But Devil May Cry was going to be a Resident Evil.
Yeah, it was planned to be Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Man.
And then they decided it'd work better on its own, which was definitely the right call.
Yeah, because if that was going to be a Resident Evil game, that would change. that would change time, man. That's a decision that would change the franchise.
Mm-hmm. I would have loved to have seen their justification for those amazing puppet monsters as zombies, though.
Yeah.
Like, you'd have to do some mental gymnastics to fit that into the T-Virus.
Yeah. But my two big things why I love that, and it's almost like I wish it would have somehow carried over into canon, and if somebody disagrees with me, that's okay. One, you get to see the vampire killer actually be built.
Yes.
And that thing is gorgeous, and you get to build it in the game piece by piece. And when it's finished, it is this magnificent weapon. And if it was going to be turned into a movie or anything like that, that's the way I'd like. You can't. I'd be like, green it, go. That's what it looks like. Two, and spoiler alerts for anybody. I know the game's old enough, and I should be out of spoiler alert territory. But the ending of the game, this franchise starts with supposedly being the first Belmont.
Yeah.
And by the end of the game, you fight Satan, and you're paying for this crime, this mortal sin that you commit. And by the end, you're cursed to being this, this unnatural living beast, and it turns out that you are Dracula.
Yeah.
So that your bloodline is that, that's why, to me, that makes sense why the Belmonts are always responsible for fighting Dracula. Like, that makes sense to me. Like, why is it always the Belmonts that have to fight Dracula? It's like, because they're your ancestors. I thought that was
like trying to put that right, aren't they?
Yeah.
But family taking care of family drama, man. That's what that is. Shit.
I always thought that was such an interesting twist, and of course the voice acting and everything's great in it.
The voice acting was outstanding. There's no question about that. Like, the narration through it was fantastic, and some of the boss fights are definitely memorable.
Yeah, they make you just everything. But not even begrudgingly. I understand it's more of its own game than a Castlevania game, so you can take it off the list.
So Bo was asking to have it taken off the list, and he actually submitted it. So any objections? I'm good.
No, none from me, because like I say, my problem with it has always been that it should have been its own franchise.
Okay. Rondo of Blood. Rondo of Blood. Not to be confused with Dracula X, though. Dracula X is the, I guess, more common version. But I mean, if you played Symphony of the Night, you saw it starts off with Dracula X, right? What does it say in the beginning? Does it say Rondo of Blood or Dracula X? I forgot what it says. But you had the last moment, the final moment, the confrontation, and then. But anyway,
what is a man?
what is a man but a miserable pile of secrets?
How about you?
Okay, so
Not even commenting.
It's cheesy. It's cheesy.
Yeah, we're dorking. Sorry.
Rondo of Blood. All right. So where do we stand on this? It's an impressive game. I like this one. I wish the PC engine was like more accessible. Because man, like, good luck getting.
Well, here's the thing. I've been saving this because I wanted to save it, and you can announce it on here. PlayStation 4 is releasing Symphony of the Night and Rondo of Blood together this month.
When? When? Oh,
it's like toward around the 20. I want to say like the 18th or the 16th or something like that.
Oh, and it's only going to be on. It's only going to be on the PlayStation, huh? Are they going to put it on the Xbox?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's how Halloween sorted them.
Expanded.
Man, I gotta get that. Okay,
And
so
pre-order sale. I think it's like an extra $2 cheap right now. $1 or $2 cheap if you pre-order it right now.
Okay. So
I think we're definitely gonna have to look into that because I would love to play this one like the proper version of it.
Yeah, you pretty much have to because I mean it's a good game. It's impressive. The graphics are especially pretty good at the time. Hey Becky, if you look up the graphics for Rondo of Blood for the PC engine, and do yourself a favor and also compare it to Dracula X for Super Nintendo, you'll see why it's a difference. It's good. You've played.
You gotta appreciate the trying. To try to port it over here because you can't really cart that game.
No. Okay.
Oh, cool.
So how do we feel about Rondo of Blood? Does it stay on the list?
I would like to keep it on the list. To be fair, I've never actually played it. I've only watched a video of it. That's how good it is. I've watched people play through it because it's so good.
Yeah,
and I have no objection to it staying on the list.
Okay, neither do I. Not for now. We have one.
Me
2,
neither.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have 7 titles, guys. We have 7 titles, so 2 titles are going to have to go. But we'll see.
Oh man.
Okay, next one, Harmony of Dissonance.
See, this is probably my favorite one out of all of them. I thought it was a really good game. It took sort of a lot of the stuff I liked in Symphony of the Night and it made it, for me, more interesting. And I really like the characters in it. I like the story in it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I really like the main character. I like the fact that he's a descendant of the Belmonts and the other clan as well. And I keep forgetting what they're called, and the fact that it's 4 a.m. doesn't help. But he's a witch as well as a vampire hunter, which I thought was really cool. And yeah, I just thought it was the best of all the elements of the previous games put together for me.
Okay, and I played a little bit of it as well. I enjoyed it. It's a good game. Let's see. I mean, my thing would be if you look at it all. I don't know. I guess like the music is kind of a factor where it's kind of lacking. I kind of wished I remember enjoying kind of like Aria of Sorrow's music a little bit more, but
yeah, I think Aria of Sorrow really sort of won out on the music generally. But I think for Harmony of Dissonance, the story kind of made it for me.
Yeah.
And the sort of the twist partway through as well really got me at the time. I don't think anybody else would be surprised by it now, having played all the others in the series. You know there's going to be a twist in there somewhere.
Okay.
But when I was playing, it was like, oh, I really didn't see that coming. That was amazing.
Okay. Well,
I have no input on it. I can't.
I know you haven't played it. But
Yeah.
all right. If I were to cast my vote on Castanel, I would say throw it off the list.
Oh.
You can keep it on the list. I'm not gonna be a bully.
It's my favorite one of the series. I feel like I would be betraying it if I didn't try and keep it on the list.
Okay, so now we're in a stalemate. We can. What does the What does Popo say? What does the poll say? I think Harmony Dissonance on the. Oh no, Harmony Dissonance wasn't on the poll, was it?
No, I think
because we did like a collective.
Yeah.
Like we did like a. What was highest on our list? Like what was the competitive and everything.
Okay.
So we took a different approach just to be fair.
Okay, so I guess I could
add it to the list.
I could do an appeal to Becky.
Yep, go for it.
Okay. All right, so Becky. So the games we're talking about right now, Harmony of Dissonance, Aria of Sorrow, they're both kind of like... they're both kind of in the shadow of another game called Symphony of the Night. And I say that way because these games all follow the same sort of formula. They open castle, you can go in and out of various areas of the castle, you kind of explore it, you pick up items, you gain experience along the way. The character gets stronger as he journeys through the castle. Not to be redundant, but
okay.
It's very detailed. It's a fun experience, but here's the thing. Symphony of the Night was like the one that came out first. Then you have Aria of Sorrow, and you have some other ones before that, but Aria of Sorrow, Harmony of Dissonance, they're kind of like living up to that example. And really, well, my argument here is going to be, if I was to look at Harmony of Dissonance and Aria of Sorrow, I would think I would go with Aria of Sorrow. Only because I know the story of Harmony Dissonance is good, but for just a pick up and go Game Boy Advance game, like Aria of Sorrow is great. Like you have the action, you have the music. It's graphically. I mean, it looks pleasant. I don't know, Becky. That's my pitch. That's my pitch. They're both good games, but I don't know.
Which one has the better graphic?
Well, I think Harmony would Harmony of Dissonance have. Well, it's on the DS.
I think for its system, I think Harmony of Dissonance did amazing things with what the DS could do. But it's a difficult comparison because I think Symphony of the Night had more to work with.
Yeah. I was kind of only using that as an example. But okay.
Which one was more fun to play?
Which was more
ultimately?
Fun to play?
Yeah.
Which one was more rewarding at the end of the day?
I had more fun with Aria of Sorrow. Because
which one was less frustrating?
The most frustrating one was Dawn of Sorrow.
Dawn of Sorrow was the most frustrating.
Yeah.
And see, that's a really hard one for me. I really liked both of them gameplay wise.
Yeah.
I think what maybe wins it out for me for Harmony of Dissonance is I found the main character slightly less annoying because he kind of got on and did stuff, whereas Soma in Aria of Sorrow is much more of a typical teenager, and there were a couple of times I just wanted to slap him.
You reminded me of that. You reminded me. That's the thing I hate about it. Actually, you know what? The thing, and this could kill my argument right here, because if I say this, it's gonna sound freaking stupid. Aria of Sorrow takes place like what in the future? Dracula's castle appears over Japan or something, which makes no sense.
Yes, that's right.
The story is very anime-ish and very Japan in that it just wouldn't make any fucking sense anywhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. And this whiny ass angsty teenager who's doing cool stuff, but why is he doing it? Okay, you know what? Fuck it. Harmony Dissonance.
Yes.
Just on that character alone.
Yes.
And You know what? Even, they try to make him like a teenage version of Alucard anyway. But the way he looks, it's like, no, man, he's not the Japanese Alucard.
Yeah, there is definitely.
You told me to look. You told me to look at the graphics between Rondo of Blood and what was it, Dracula X. I have to admit that I like the Rondo of Blood ones better.
Yeah. Okay, so that's good. That's good. All right, so that was a good debate there. Now we have Super Castlevania 4, which I think that's staying on the list, right?
Yeah, I'm not. I'm pretty flexible and all that stuff. I'm not budging on that
one. You would have to find some dirt on. Who are you playing as in this one? Is it Simon?
Yeah, I think you're Simon on that one.
So this would be a direct sequel from the second one, huh? Because you are in Castlevania 3. You are Trevor. Wait, isn't Trevor Trevor is after Simon, right?
Yes, they all came out in a weird order.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Simon's definitely the first.
Okay. All right. So we're all good on. Wait, just make sure, Jones, you're good on Super Castlevania 4.
I'm good. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm good.
All right. Then we have Symphony of the Night.
I don't think anybody's going to argue about that one either.
Take it off the list.
There's a part of me that really wants to because I don't like Alucard, but I know I wouldn't win. So.
Oh, Alucard's whiny, but he's nowhere near as whiny as Sumo, whatever the name is.
No, that is absolutely true.
And here's the other thing about Symphony of the Night. Whether you hate Alucard or like Alucard or love him and want to be him and cosplay as him, here's the other thing. When you beat it or when you get far, you can play as Richter. So if you want to play as the badass anyway, the badass did when. Actually, the first time I was ever exposed to Rondo of Blood was actually through Symphony of the Night. When we first fired up, man, the last battle of that game is the first battle of this game. And it's like, holy hell, this is so fucking cool. You're about to confront Dracula.
That was very clever. Yeah.
Man.
There was a lot of things about Symphony of the Night that was clever, and it took people forever to figure that stuff out too. A lot of that stuff stays secret forever.
That's
because
Ooh, you're right, Bo.
Yeah, I mean the castle flipping upside down.
Oh, that was cool.
And
that was very cool.
It just being a completely different, a completely different game, and then like you said, being able to play as Richter. So
and the attention to detail to the bosses in this game were some of the best. I mean, especially in the upside down castle, where you have like that. There's this one boss battle where it's like this hanging zombie thing and all these flies. You know what I'm talking about? It's like I think on like a Beelzebub or whatever. Beelzebub. Did I mispronounce it? I don't know. But it's very gross looking. You have like these maggots coming off. He's dripping stuff and flies are flying everywhere.
Ew.
It's nasty. It's nasty. And then they have another one, Becky. You should Google this one. It's a ball. It's a ball of bodies, and they actually.
Oh yes.
Wasn't he also a boss on Harmony of Dissonance?
He was. Yeah, he's one of the more memorable ones actually. And as you hit him, bodies just pour off the sides of him. It's amazing.
Dude, that is morbid stuff right there. I'm like, damn it! And so the boss battle room is a chamber of bodies that are buried on top of each other. And the music I'm playing right now this is all Symphony of the Night music right now because it has some of the best music in the game. Series.
And I mean, I would be, come on, the conceptual art for the game.
I think Symphony of Night, it's the one that kind of made it for a lot of people. There can be no doubt about that, and it is a very, very good game.
And
holy cow!
And wait, you saw it?
I just saw the big boss of the day. Yeah, I just saw it.
It's pretty gross, huh? That could be a cover.
Yeah.
We should make that.
Yes,
we should make that into a cover.
That would be cool.
Holy hell, that'd be so morbid.
I could use it for a bowling.
Yeah, bowling.
It would be a good,
like bowling with bodies.
I could do that.
What sort of anthology is that? What?
Creepy bowling I don't know.
Creepy bowling. I got.
It has to be a sports related anthology.
I was going to say if you just created like a Castlevania party game for the Wii.
Probably. Nintendo's going to take this. Oh man! Oh, look at one other one,
dude.
I think his name.
Okay.
I think the boss's name is Bizzlebub, like you would pronounce it or spell it. But for Symphony of the Night, I think that's the one where it's like this corpse that's hanged up on like hooks, and you're fighting him. You're really kind of fighting the flies. But anyway, so Symphony of the Night looks like it's staying. So right now on the list, we have Symphony of the Night, Castlevania 4, Harmony of Dissonance, Rondo of Blood, Castlevania 3.
Ew.
I take it.
He's pretty.
Yeah, he's real pretty. That's actually that's actually the one boss that actually gave me trouble, like visually, like. Yeah, I was like,
it was pretty impressive, that one. It leaves an impression, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You.
Yeah, it's a lasting image. All right, and then we also have Portrait of Ruin. So we have 6 here. We need to eliminate one more.
Whoa. So this is where it's starting to get difficult.
Yeah, so... Okay. I think we're going to have to call it some big guns here. So we can go back to either title, whichever one you want, and we can revisit it. I mean, there's Rondo of Blood, and there's Portrait of Ruin. Those seem kind of like... I don't know about weaker, but just... I mean, Rondo of Blood isn't all that well known, but it is a good game.
I like
the graphics in that one.
Yeah, I think it's kind of like a hidden gem of the series. I don't think it really stood much of a chance commercially. And then a lot of people played Dracula X, which was just not as good.
No. Now, I have to ask you, as the handheld guy, Portrait of Ruin or Harmony of Dissonance?
Oh, well. Again, that's really hard because obviously Portrait of Ruin's got the extra element, you've got the extra characters in it. And the other fun thing it had was like you could find paintings throughout Dracula's castle that would then transport you to a different environment.
Yeah.
Which is where the title of the game comes from. But I still really love Harmony of Dissonance. I think it's the more memorable game.
Okay.
It's a really, really hard one, actually.
Okay. All right. What are you thinking, Bo?
I think it would be fair to eliminate one of the handhelds just to try to keep.
Yeah.
Try to keep one.
Just, which one?
It's just. I'd have to leave it up to you two.
Okay.
I would say maybe Harmony of Dissonance fits the image of the series overall better because Portrait of Ruin was another one that went very much for the anime style.
I would agree with that.
we could probably edge it out that way if we had to.
Yeah, as much as I enjoy anime from time to time, the art style was different. Okay, so...
Well, yeah, that sounds fair to me, because if it's...
Yeah.
I'm good with that. And delete. Okay, so now we have the 5. Now, are you good with the order, though? Because right now it's Symphony of the Night, Castlevania 4, Harmony of Dissonance, Rondo of Blood, Castlevania 3. Are we good with that order?
I think Symphony of the Night's going to land on top no matter what we do.
Okay. What about Castlevania 4? Oh, when you say on top, you mean like number 1 or number 2? Where should it be?
One of those.
Oh, this is. Oh, so are we doing this like personally? Because
at this point, the gloves are off. At this point, if you just make a compelling argument that can convince us, the way things are going,
If I had to show somebody, for instance, Becky,
Yes, sir.
Becky doesn't know anything about Castlevania. If I had to say,
Nope.
Becky, you have to play one of these games to know what Castlevania is, to learn everything about Castlevania, I'm going to give her Castlevania 4. That's the one I'd give her.
See, that's kind of interesting, because if I was going to teach her everything about Castlevania, I'd give her Symphony of the Night, and then tell her there's one with a less whiny protagonist.
Less whiny.
I really do not like Alucard. I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this.
But I don't know. Bo kind of has a point, though, because Super Castlevania 4 is very true to the classic style of what Castlevania, I guess, started as and all that.
It's got your Frankensteins, your mummies, your Draculas.
Of course, Symphony of the Night has that stuff, too, but...
Oh, Abdul and Fred Astaire.
Man.
That's a real... I still have that manual, and I think it's the most hilarious pun in that whole thing.
I don't know.
But it's very haunted stuff. It's got everything. It's the most Castlevania EE one to me.
Most Castlevania EE. All right, so we're battling for
music, everything. Just there's your introduction.
What do you think about that, Becky?
Well, I don't know which one I'd want to try. I probably would throw the thing if the guy was a whiny turd.
I will be honest, that might just be me, because I didn't get on with him, because I know seems to be everybody else's favourite character in the series. Not necessarily you guys, but all the other Castlevania fans I speak to. But I just found Alucard to be a complete tool. With that regard, Super Castlevania 4 is definitely going to win, because you've just got a better hero.
I think Alucard... I wonder if things would be different if Alucard looked like the way he did in Castlevania 3, where he looked like traditional Dracula with a slick back hair and stuff like that. Instead of this long white hair, it's all it's like a Lestat. They try to make him like a Lestat, you know?
Yeah, they definitely went heavy on kind of the Bishonen look.
Yeah.
Which worked. I mean, it roped in a huge number of fans, but I think they also then went and just made him a whiny git.
Now, here's my argument that kind of help too. Okay, so for Symphony of the Night to be number one on top of Super Castlevania 4 is this: you get the best of both worlds plus more. In the very beginning of the game, it is classic Castlevania. Not only that, but it's fighting Dracula. Now the boss battle is super easy. You can't die. You literally can't die because Maria or whatever her name is comes in and just makes you invincible. So even Becky can beat that first boss, and she can learn how to use the whip, and which doesn't matter anyway because you don't really use the whip.
That's frightening all on its own.
Yeah, I mean, and then you get.
Well, you could argue that too with you get to play as you're super overpowered as Alucard too at the beginning, but then you get your power stripped away, so then that kind of negates. You get both sides of that coin.
Yeah, and then you have to start from that part of that part of the game is the part that it can either keep the fans or maybe just look for another game. Like, what am I doing? What's going on here? I'm gonna have to look for items and weapons. Is this an RPG? Like, what is this? I have to do massive menus. I have to equip things. But once you get over that...
And yet, you kind of that's what I absolutely loved in Harmony of Dissonance, because not only did you have the main weapons, you could change what the sub-weapons did by using a different spellbook.
Yeah.
So instead of having 4 sub-weapons, you had 20 sub-weapons. And I thought that was really cool.
But now I'm thinking about accessibility. Someone just picks up Super Castlevania 4. They don't have to handle all that. It's good to go. You don't have to worry about equipping jack shit. There's no
that is
menus.
true.
Oh, that would be the one for me then.
Oh, looks like we convinced Becky.
I really kind of want to see a video of Becky playing this for the first time.
Oh no,
I think that'd be something.
Oh man, is that something we can arrange? Can we arrange this?
Yes.
That would be amazing.
Yes.
I could make that happen.
Yes.
Make that
We
happen.
probably can.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Super Castlevania 4, yes.
Yeah, so yeah, I will put my vote for Super Castlevania 4 if we get to see Becky playing it at some point.
Absolutely good.
Okay.
okay. So we
I'll agree
just
to this.
we just voted for Super Castlevania 4 to be number 1 on the list.
Good.
Number 2.
Just let's face it, it's number 1 on somebody's list anyway.
Yeah.
Like, let's have a little fun.
So Symphony of the Night's number 2. Number 3 is Harmony of Dissonance. Number 4 is Rondo of Blood. Number 5 is Castlevania 3. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
I would like to make one more case for Harmony of Dissonance to be above Symphony of the Night,
Okay.
purely just to irritate people.
Okay. All right.
And
We do have vetoes.
we do.
Don't we?
And-
Couldn't he invoke a veto just to move that thing up?
He could do a veto, and he could try to appeal. I mean, he could.
I'm going to try to appeal to Becky here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we've described the games basically. A lot of people think they're comparable games and think Harmony of Dissonance looks a lot like Symphony of the Night. I will say that Symphony of the Night probably has better music, but with Harmony of Dissonance, your main character is a nicer person generally. He is more competent, and he doesn't start the game by having an argument with his dad. Which I found that really unappealing in Symphony of the Night, that you're basically a stroppy vampire teenager whinging at your dad for trying to kill people. Like, where does he think his food comes from? If you don't kill humans, you don't get to eat. I don't know, maybe that's why he's so skinny and pasty, but I just kind of felt like it was a real... I know kids go through rebellious stages, but that's kind of taking it to the limit. And then in Harmony of Dissonance, you've got a guy who is literally only there to help his friends. And he's just rolling up his sleeves and going, yeah, we're going to go in there, we're going to get this done, and we're going to get out in one piece. And he's got cooler weapons.
Ooh.
So, cooler weapons and free of daddy issues.
Exactly.
Seeing now, when you're talking about weapons, you're right up my alley. So, yeah, I like, yeah.
And he can do the funny spinny thing with his whip, which was just so much fun in some of the hallways.
Ooh. See, now I keep screaming I need a taser, and everybody keeps telling me no. Now I want to. My brother screams no in the background. Now I want a whip.
Yeah, you should get a whip, Becky.
Yeah.
Get a whip.
Yeah, I'd end up smacking myself with it.
Get a vampire.
Actually, if I remember rightly, you can get a lightning stone for the whip as well, so it does electrical damage, and then you've just got a taser on a rope. You know, you'd be set.
Ooh, a taser on a rope. I like this.
Well, you can
He
own
just
that.
moved it up on the list.
Hot damn.
Now,
Okay, I'm in.
okay, I think that was a successful appeal.
It was.
Any counter arguments? Anything? I mean,
No, I got nothing. It's hilarious. I'm good.
yeah. Now people are gonna be like hating our list. Super Castlevania 4, Harmony of Dissonance, Symphony of the Night, Rondo of Blood, Castlevania 3.
Well, they can leave their comments.
Desperate, aren't I?
Okay.
Let them do all that stuff.
I would actually say
Yeah.
Castlevania 3 over Rondo, only because that's been played by more people. But I'm probably going to be in the minority on that one. I mean, Rondo of Blood looks fantastic. I'm putting an NES game over a PC Engine game. That's a hard argument, but
Here's the thing. I'm going to give you. I'll back you up on this, just because what they're doing with that Netflix series, it's so fucking good.
It really is a good series.
It really is. I can't, essentially, we've seen the first third, the first third of it, and we're going to get the next two parts. Just a mere week and a half, I think, maybe 2 weeks. I'm good. I'm super excited. We're fun. Yeah. We're going to get to go through Dracula's castle. It's going to be awesome.
I think
it really is, and I think it's a real testament to how good that series is that I love it even with Alucard in it. It's fantastic.
Yeah, but I don't like the way Alucard looks in it. Alucard should definitely look like the way he looked in Castlevania 3. I went the classic Dracula's look. Now it's they gave that ship has sailed a long time ago. I understand that.
Have you seen what he looks like in Aria of Sorrow and Dawn of Sorrow, where they've tried to do like a weird merge of the two?
Oh,
so he kind of looks like a Bishy with slick back short hair, and it's like, ooh, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
He just looks creepy, to be honest.
But no, it was so good. I begged Sean over at Horror Writers, which is Horror Canada now. But hey, Sean, if you're listening,
he probably will. He listens to the podcast.
I love Sean to death, man. I love him to death.
Cool.
I begged him to let me write a review article on to write a review for that first season, and he's just like, yeah, do it.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It really is.
All right. So I think we have the list. We have the top 5 Castlevania games of all time. Super Castlevania 4, Harmony of Dissonance, Symphony of the Night, Castlevania 3, Rondo of Blood.
I think we just shocked everybody, including ourselves.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to go this way. I really thought Symphony of the Night was going to be on top. That poll has Symphony of the Night on top.
Oh yeah, that poll crushed. Like it was Symphony of the Night.
I think that's what happens whenever you ask the general public about Castlevania, because it's the one most people remember.
That's why I'm going to get a lot of comments in the comment section being like, well, we are a bunch of idiots. Don't know crap about crap.
That's okay, send them
You're going to get death threats from me.
Yep. I'm going to get whip threats. You're going to electrocute me with your whip.
Can you imagine you just walking out, but you're on your way home and you just get out of your car and you're walking into your house and you just get whipped across the back?
Yeah.
Flash of light.
You would like it.
Yeah, I probably would.
Like it.
Yeah. I don't think I would complain.
No.
Man, we actually did this. That's good.
Yeah, when are we getting this follow-up video? When can we expect it? Can we get it for Halloween? That would be a nice treat.
Halloween's going to be a big night.
We can...
Can we? Well,
yeah, but you can do it the night before.
Wait, the easiest way to set that up for Becky would be, do you know about ROMs and emulators? I can set you up with something.
Okay.
We could see how we can do this. Because we just need like a video of you playing it. You know? We don't have to actually see you play it. That would be cool, but I mean...
oh, yeah, you do. Because I'm quite animated when I try to play video games.
All right.
See, that just sounds cool.
You'll
I think
want
this is going to be great.
Man, we got to find a way to make this happen.
It's going to be quite comical.
Are you one of those people that, like, when you get a jump or turn, you, like, turn the controller or lift up the controller?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Awesome.
I am, and I get excited, and or I get mad and fuss at it. I talk to it,
Yeah.
Oh God, I need to see this.
This is great.
Yeah, we got to find a way to make this happen for real.
Games. Fantastic.
We can record this. This is no problem.
Do you own a Super Nintendo?
I don't, but I know somebody that does.
Okay.
I have a copy. Do you think they have a copy of this? Because that was a very popular game.
I'm sure they do.
The other thing we could do is I could send you some files in your Dropbox, and very simple, very simple stuff. Okay, yeah, we'll talk about that, about making that work. Hopefully, maybe one of the things we do for Halloween night. I don't know. That I do have a crazy stream planned to promote Renee Miller's new book, and it's Halloween night. And
ooh, yeah.
Oh, you're doing a stream to promote that new book, the survival one.
Oh no, not that one. No, that one looks good too. No, I'm actually gonna be publishing a book. It's a horror erotica. Yeah.
Oh right, yeah. Oh yeah, I read about the. I saw about that. I completely forgot about that. That's cool too.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Has she seen the cover for it yet?
Yeah, and she approved. She likes it. So.
Ooh, awesome!
It's very nice, very titillating, very provocative. definitely get people interested. All right, ladies.
I hope so.
Gentlemen, you've made it this far. Press that heart button. Share around. Sharing is caring. And let us know what your thoughts are in the comment section. Do you agree with this top 5 list? Do you not agree with it? That's all right. Let me know. You don't have to watch your language with me. You don't have to be nice to me. You can say whatever you want. Okay? You know. But I
No
appreciate,
death threats for Becky.
Yeah, no death threats for her. And no penis pics for her. Don't send her any more penis pics.
Yeah, no. Please don't.
Okay. And I appreciate SR Jones coming on and Bo Chappell for coming on. You guys helped out.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure as always.
Yeah.
Well, man. Well, with that said, y'all take it easy. I want to go ahead and